Hey guys, so I am back with a new video and this is going to be another Disney Princess inspired illustration, which is the second to the last one in this collection. This time it is inspired by Cinderella, so let's get started. Brainstorming a concept for Cinderella was probably one of the most difficult for me to start with. The first idea I had in mind was to design a dress using an organza fabric. I don't exactly know why I chose organza, but it was a good thing I changed my mind before I decided to ink and color the sketch. What actually happened was I filmed the sketching and concept development already, but I wasn't feeling the design. It reminded me too much of the design that I did for Belle, so I decided to try sketching again the next morning. As I sat down the next day, before having to redo the sketch, I went on the internet to look for more inspiration. Pretty much, I needed to break it down. Like, what was it about Cinderella that is so significant, that makes her story and her character completely distinctive from all the rest of the princesses? What was her identity? And that's when it finally hit me. And I felt so stupid since it's so obvious that it never crossed my mind. The glass slipper. Duh. So I was back using organza as the chosen fabric because I thought organza does have a translucent texture to it, which I could have used to represent glass. It was an idea, but it still didn't seem good enough. This is Cinderella after all, the most marketed princess in the line, which makes her the ultimate princess. This was definitely my chance to create the ultimate princess dress. Interestingly enough, I searched up dresses made out of glass on the internet to help bring out some inspiration, but once again, I felt incredibly stupid for not having thought about crystals. I felt like I was trying to really add some depth into my interpretation of Cinderella's character that I forgot what was right in front of me, what was obvious. So, learn from this when trying to gather ideas from an inspiration. Sometimes you don't have to be pretentious about things. Sometimes simple ideas are the best ones. I am definitely proud of this dress design for Cinderella. Yes, it's nothing too fancy or over the top, but it is classic, which is what her character definitely is. I'm sorry if this took such a long time to explain how I ended up where I did in terms of choosing the main concept for her dress, but I felt like I needed to share that since it was definitely a different experience compared to the other princesses. Moving on, you might have seen the change in sketch and the change in the line art. That was when I decided to scrap the organza idea and go for the crystal idea. The rendering of this dress, I would say, is the most fun I have had so far with this collection. It wasn't something completely new to me like rendering velvet, but it's something I don't do enough of, and I feel like I should because I absolutely love the outcome of this dress. When rendering crystal beads or rhinestones or crystal embellishments, I simply drew small circles with my black fineliner, and keep in mind you don't have to draw these small circles precisely, they just have to be a rough indication of the detail of the embellishment. Since mine wasn't arranged in some sort of fancy pattern, it was very simple. Using the fineliner also helps add shading to the crystal embellished bodice and skirt, so I would definitely recommend doing that. for the entire dress, I actually went for a couple layers of tulle. I already rendered tulle when I did the design for Tiana, but this one is different because instead of trying to emphasize the netting texture that tulle has, I wanted to focus on the overall texture of the many layers of tulle, if that makes any sense. So I colored using my markers in streaks. I simply followed the flow of the skirt, sometimes coloring from top to bottom or coloring from bottom up. The key was to keep it rough and be very free with your strokes. When coloring the crystals, use a dabbing motion with the markers and shade the same way you would from light to dark, also using the dabbing motion to capture the texture of the crystal embellishments. I actually used gray as well when coloring the crystals to add depth to the drawing and also to bring out the contrast between the dark areas and the light areas, which I will bring out using the white opaque pen. I actually also used gouache, white gouache, to really help bring out the shine of each crystal. Of course, rendering it using stippling motion. And that's it. So this is it, guys, really. This collection is almost over, just one more to go, and I will finally finish something, which is great because it was literally a New Year's resolution I had in 2013, to finish a collection. Technically, this collection was finished in 2014, even though you're only seeing the videos now, so definitely keep an eye out for the last of the Disney Princess inspired collection. I will end it here. I hope you guys liked this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did like it and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next one.